Hey guys, I think I'm live here. Can you let me know in the chat if you hear me? Go ahead and let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, awesome. Very cool, very cool. I do have a little bit of a lag with the chat, so bear with me if I'm not answering you right away. So let me give just a couple minutes for everybody to get on here. While we're waiting, let me know in the chat. Let me know where you guys are calling in from. Got Eric from Wisconsin, Angela from Seattle, Illa Patel from Florida, me too. Muriel from Brooklyn, Malone from Tucson, Cheaton from Toronto, Future Dream from Orange County, California, Sherry from British Columbia, Kay Smith from Houston, Tanzania from Alabama, Lady Sadrati from Canada, Laylee, sorry, Iselpa, Juan from San Diego, Nathan from North Carolina, Sanitizer World from Houston, William from North Dakota. Very cool. So we got people from all over the U.S. and Canada. Looks like. So super happy to have you guys on. So let's go ahead and jump right into it here. I got you, Eric. I didn't forget you. You're the first person I read. Oh, no, a different Eric. Sorry, I know you. He's from Tampa, Florida with me. Just like Eselpa, same as me. I'm in Tampa, Florida. Very cool, very cool. Okay, William from North Dakota. Sally from Calgary. Dean from Palm Springs, California. GF from Syracuse. William from North Dakota. Let's see. Yinka from Speedway, Indianapolis. Very cool. Nina from Boulder, Colorado. So you guys were from all over the place. Wonderful. So super glad to have you guys on. So let's go ahead and jump into it. This presentation is going to be how to turn your Excel skills into a high-paying freelance consulting business that gets you new clients consistently. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go over real quick. I'm just going to go over kind of what this business model is, why it works. I'll give you a little bit about how it came about, and then I'm going to get into the meat of the presentation. I'm going to talk about how I actually get clients for my business. I'm going to give you my exact step-by-step system for getting Excel clients. I'm going to go into how you can use an economic downturn to actually work to your benefit in this business. And then finally, we're going to talk about how you can gain credibility when you're new to this, when you haven't had any customers before. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in here. Just so you understand why this business model works, let me ask you a question. How many businesses use Excel? Let me know in the chat. How many businesses use Excel? Laylee says all. Angela says most. John says all of them. Yeah, exactly. Just about every business uses Excel. I mean, if you looked hard enough, you could probably find some businesses that don't use Excel. But for the most part, just about every business uses Excel. Now let me ask you this. How good is the average person at Excel? The average person in these businesses, how good are they at Excel? Not great. Yeah, exactly. That's painful. Fair to poor, beginner. Yeah, exactly, right? Most people are not that good at Excel. So how many people do you think could benefit from someone like you that could help them with Excel? A lot, right? A lot of people. Tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of people that could benefit from this. Now, how many people are going out and offering help with Excel? And I don't mean people that are on Upwork that are just kind of hoping that clients will come to them. How many people are actually going out into that marketplace and offering to help people with their Excel? Probably not very many, right? I've seen very, very few people that are doing this. So basically the situation you have here is that you have this on the left. These are the people who need help with Excel. And on the right, this tiny little circle, the people who are offering help with Excel. So you have this massive market of people who could benefit from this Excel service, but there's a very small number of people that are actually providing the service. So if you're a little leery coming into this, you're wondering like, why is this guy going to teach me his business? Why is he going to create competition for himself? Well, that's why. Being in this business is being like an ant in a cherry pie. There's more business than I could ever take in 1,000 lifetimes, right? So competition is irrelevant. So that's why this business model works so well. Now, just in case you're still not convinced, here are a few of the checks that I've gotten from clients. Here's a screenshot of one page of my PayPal with payments from clients. This is a real business. There is real money coming in. Now, your results are going to vary from mine, right? I'm not saying that you're going to get exactly the same results as me. Just because you watch this presentation doesn't mean that you're going to get the same results as me. Everybody's results vary. It depends on what you do. But my promise to you is that I'm going to show you the way that has worked for me, and what you do with that information is your responsibility. So is that fair? Cool. So just really, really quick, a little bit about me. My name is Chris Shoup. I am the founder of Advanced Excel Optimization. That's my Excel freelance consulting company. I recently rebranded as the Excel Guy. I think it's a little more catchy. And I've been doing this business for 7 years. So I'm pretty seasoned at it by this point. This picture right here is me working in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Working hard there. Now, here's how this whole thing came about. I used to work at a normal corporate desk job. I was a data analyst. I was generally the go-to Excel guy in the office wherever I worked. So anybody that needed help with Excel, they would come to me. Or if they needed someone to build them an Excel sheet, they'd come to me. And so one day I had the idea that maybe I could do the same kind of work as a freelancer and get companies to pay me and me not have to be an employee. The idea appealed to me because I was tired of working for somebody else. I was tired of having a ceiling on my income. I was tired of having to go into the office and sit in traffic every day. And I was tired of having no control over my schedule. So I decided to do it. I started gathering a portfolio. I put up a website, which you can see here on the right. This is my original website for the business. And I had some business cards printed. And then, crickets. I went an entire year without getting a single client. And then when finally I did get my first client, I was super excited. I did the project, I sent it to the client for approval, and then they ghosted me. Never answered my emails. And I didn't get paid a cent. Pretty depressing. So I went back, I completely restructured my delivery process, which worked this time because I got paid by every other client after that, thankfully. But I was still getting clients only sporadically. I didn't really have any control. I didn't have a consistent method for getting new clients. And I realized that what I was missing was marketing. And so I made the decision that I was going to dedicate myself 100% to learning marketing. I found a course in digital marketing that looked promising. So I pulled out my credit card, I made the purchase, and dived in. A year and a half later, I was getting pretty good. And I figured out a clever way to apply my new marketing skills to my Excel business. And it worked! After 6 years, I had finally found a system that brought in new clients consistently and that I could control. And that system is exactly what I'm going to show you in this presentation. Now, let me show you just real quick who this presentation is for. This is for people with intermediate to advanced level of Excel. You don't have to be an Excel super genius, you don't have to be an MVP, but you have to have at least above average level of Excel. This is for people who want to turn their skills into a full-time business that gives you more money, freedom, and flexibility. Or it could be a side business as well. It works for that as well. Or, yeah, a side gig for a little extra income. So either way, this will work for you. Now, let me tell you who this presentation is not for. This is not for Excel beginners, right? If you just started learning Excel yesterday, then this isn't really going to work for you. If you're at a very low level of Excel, and again, you don't have to be a super genius, you don't have to be amazing at Excel, but if you're a beginner, this presentation is going to be how to use your existing skills to make a business out of it. So I'm not going to teach you how to do Excel. So if you need to build your Excel skills, I absolutely recommend that you do it, because Excel is an amazing skill to have. I'm just not going to teach you how to do that. So go to Google, type in Excel tutorial. You can absolutely learn how to do Excel, but this just isn't the point of this presentation. This presentation is not for anyone who's looking for a get-rich-quick scheme. I mean, you actually have to do the work. You have to create the projects for clients. So get rich quick, this is not. And if you're not willing to invest. Now, when I say invest, I mean you got to put some time and some money into it at the beginning, which is true for every business. And I realize that if you're working for a job for a long time, this is kind of difficult to wrap your head around, that you have to put in time to building a system that's going to bring you money. Whereas at a job, you put in time, you get paid immediately. Like, you always get paid for your time. If you build a business, you have to build that business, and you have to put on work that's not going to be paid before the money starts coming in. And then by the same token, you also have to put in money. You have to invest in your business. This method that I'm going to show you is based around paid ads. So you have to pay for advertising. And I'm going to show you that the numbers work really well, that you pay a little bit for advertising and you make a lot in return. So it works out well. And actually, this business is very low investment compared to most businesses. I mean, if you want to go flip houses, or you want to buy a restaurant franchise, or you want to buy a factory, right? That's a lot of money you got to spend. This business is very low investment, but you do have to make some investment in the beginning. So if that's something that you're not willing to do, then this isn't going to work for you. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. Number one is the exact system I use to get new, high-paying clients consistently. 2, how to thrive in a bad economy. And I put that bad in quotes because just because the economy is bad overall doesn't mean that it has to be bad for you. And then 3, how to get clients to trust you even if you've never done an Excel project before as a freelancer. Okay, so let's dive right into it. Now, part 1 is the process. This is my process for getting clients. So I'm going to give you the high-level overview first, and then I'm going to get a little more into the detail after that. The first step is to run an ad. Now, I run ads on YouTube. I run video ads, and I run ads to people who are looking to do things in Excel. So they're looking for how to build a dashboard. They're looking for how to do a VLOOKUP. And I run a video ad that says, hey, are you tired of trying to figure all this out yourself? Would you like someone to do your Excel project for you? If so, then click on the link. And then if they click on the link in the ad, they go to my landing page. Now, a landing page is a little different from a normal website. A normal website, there's the banner across the top with the home and about and contact and all these different buttons you can press. And maybe there's a sidebar across the side with a whole bunch of other things you can look at. A landing page is very focused. It's a simple website that is focused on getting the user to do one thing. And in this case, to put in their contact details and become my lead. So what they do on the landing page is they put in their contact details and then and a little bit about their project. And then once they do that, they are taken to a thank you page, which just confirms and tells them that I'm going to give them a call. And then they also get an automatic email. I have an automatic email system that sends them an email just confirming that I got their information. And then after that, I take their information and I give them a call. And then if the person wants to become my client, if they want to sign up for me, then they sign a quote, sign a contract, send it back to me, and I start the project and I get paid. So that's the high level. That's my full process. Is this making sense so far? Let me know in the chat. Is this making sense? Okay, I see a lot of yeses. Wonderful. Okay, so now I'm going to go into each part of this in a little more detail. I have it up in the top here, so for your reference. The first part is the ad. For the ad, there are going to be three main components. The first is the targeting. That means who actually sees the ad, who the ad is served to. For me, I target people who are looking for how to do simple things on Excel. People who are looking for how to set up a dashboard, how to do a VLOOKUP, how to do conditional formatting, that kind of thing. I find those people who are already looking for those things on YouTube. And YouTube is amazing because it gives you these targeting options. It knows what people are looking for, and you can get in front of exactly the right people. The second component is the copy. Copy means what you actually say in the ad. So the copy references what's in the targeting. I know what their situation is already, so I call that out. I say, hey, are you looking to do this thing in Excel? Well, wouldn't it be easier if I could just do it for you? Right? And if so, then click on the link and give me a little bit of your information, and I'll give you a call, basically. And then the last component of my ad is the phone number. I give them my phone number to give them the opportunity to call me. Because if they call me, then they're going from step one here. They're going from the ad directly to the call. They're just skipping a big part of the process and going almost to the end of the process where I get paid. And if they call me, I always prefer that they call me rather than me calling them. Because if they call me, they're calling at exactly the time when, for one thing, they have time to talk. And secondly, their interest is at its highest point, right? Because they know why they're interested in my services. Whereas if they leave me their details and I call them tomorrow, well, maybe they already forgot about my ad. Or maybe they already figured out a new solution. So I leave my phone number in the ad because I would prefer to expedite this process as much as I possibly can. So that's how the ad works. Next part is the landing page. Landing page has three basic elements. Number one is the copy or video. The copy, again, is just what you say. It's the words you use to persuade the customer or the prospect to become your customer, or in this case, to enter their details and become a lead. And so I write copy that is identifying what their needs are and how I can benefit them. And then I also have a video, which is just a demonstration of some of the projects that I've done in the past. I do a screen share, or like a screen recording of me demonstrating some of my past Excel work. Now, this is really good for two reasons. One is it builds trust, right? I'm showing the person that I have a competence, right? I'm showing the person that I can do these fancy looking things in Excel. And the second thing it does is it gives them an idea of what other possibilities are, right? Because the average person, they don't really understand a lot about what the possibilities in Excel are. They don't know the scope of what's possible. So when they watch my video, they expand their mind a little bit as to what is possible, so they get new ideas for things that I can help them with. And so ultimately, it expands the project, it gets them to ask me for more things, and ultimately I get paid more. So that's what the video does. Second aspect is the phone number. Again, if I can get them to skip directly from the landing page to the call, then I'm happy, because this is when they are at their most interested, and I'm more likely to close the sale if they call me right there. And then the third aspect is the contact form. That's where I ask for their information. I ask for their name, their email address, their phone number, and to tell me just a little bit about their project. Okay, next page is the thank you page. The thank you page, also three basic elements. Number one is confirm. That is, just say, hey, I got your details. Number two, set expectations. Tell them that I'm going to be getting in touch with them soon. And I try to keep it as casual and informal as possible. Right? I want it to be clear to the prospect that there's no obligation, that I'm not going to try to shove some high-pitched sales call down their throat, that they don't have to pay me for the call, anything like that. So taking the weight off their shoulders as much as I possibly can with that. And then the third element Anybody want to guess? No, I won't make you wait for that. Third element is, yet again, my phone number. I say, hey, in case you're impatient, you can give me a call at this number. Because, again, this is when they're at their peak of interest, and I would rather them call me than I have to call them. So it doesn't hurt to try again. Oh, and then this automated email down here is the same as the thank you page, basically. I just send them an email that confirms, that sets expectations, and that gives my phone number. And so what the email does is it makes it just makes it look more professional, right? It lends me credibility. It makes me look like a real business and not just some like fly-by-night guy working from his basement or something. And another thing the email does is that it gives them my contact details should they want it in the future. So if the person, I talk to the person and they don't decide to become my client, or maybe they don't even answer the phone, whatever it is, maybe 6 months from now, they have another Excel project and they say, hey, I wonder if that Excel guy is still around. They search their email, they find the email from me, and now they have my phone number and my email address so they can get in contact with me in the future. Okay, and then call is the next part. And Angela, I'm about to answer your question. By the way, if you guys got questions, leave them for the end. I'm going to take the questions all at the end here. So the call, the first thing you're going to want to do is gather requirements. You're going to want to talk to the prospect and figure out what they need, right? And you want to ask as many questions as you need to until you get a thorough understanding of what the prospect needs. And by the way, you're going to notice like this call is, I call it my non-sales method because it's as unsalesy as you can possibly get. Right, so the first thing is gather requirements, figure out what the prospect needs. Once I am clear on what the prospect wants, then I make a proposal. I say, here's what I can do for you. And sometimes the proposal might be exactly what they require, exactly what they're asking for, or sometimes I might have a better idea. I can say, okay, well, this is what you're asking for, and I can do that if you want, but I think it might serve your purposes better if I did this, this, and this. Right, so I make a proposal and then discuss the proposal until such a time as the prospect is happy with it. And then when the prospect is happy with the proposal, that is when I give my cost and time estimate. Angela, that's when I do that. So if he's happy with everything, I say, okay, well, the way that I work is I charge $100 per hour, and for this project, I'm estimating that it's going to take 8 to 12 hours. And so if you have a small project, usually you can give a fairly detailed time estimate. If it's a big project that it's really hard to give an estimate, I prefer to kind of chunk it down and say, okay, this first part of the project, this is a big project. I'm not sure quite how much to estimate overall, but let's just focus on this first core part of the project. That's going to take me 5 to 7 hours, right? And then once that's done, then we can get to the rest of the project. And I tell them that I keep them abreast of the time that I'm logging as they go, so there's no surprises there. And then if that's all good with them, they want to go forward, then I send them a quote, which is also a contract, and they sign it, send it back to me, and then I get started on the project. So that's the whole process. Are you guys following me so far? I know I'm going kind of fast here. Is this making sense? Jerry says yes. Tom says yes. Chris says yes. Casey, awesome. Okay, so that's the process. Now let's get into what the numbers look like. Now, I know all of you data nerds like me are going to like this part. This is the fun part. So this little diagram that you see here is what in marketing speak is called a sales funnel. And the sales funnel, in this case, consists of 3 basic steps. The first is clicks. You're going to get a certain number of people are going to click on your ad. That's the first step in the sales funnel. Of those people who click on your ad, some portion of those are going to become your leads. They're going to either give you a call or they're going to give you their contact information, and they'll become your leads. And then of those people who are your leads, a certain portion of those people will become your clients. So that's how the sales funnel works. Now, let's go into the actual numbers. The number of people that become that become leads is about 5%. This is the number that I'm getting in my business is 5%. Now, that seems kind of low. And the reason for that is that most people that click on my ads are just curious. They're not really that serious, right? Probably they've never seen an ad like mine before. They're curious about what the business is about. Probably they don't really have a project at the moment. Maybe they just want to keep it in mind for the future. But only about 5% of the people are serious enough that they actually are willing to put in their information and become my lead. But even at that 5%, the numbers work out very well, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. Now, of the people who become my leads, about 50% end up becoming clients. Now, that number is a lot higher because if somebody has gotten to this stage where they're a lead, where they've reached out and called me, or they have given their email address and phone number to some stranger on the internet, then that person is clearly interested, right? The level of interest is very high. They're pretty serious. And so it's pretty easy to convert those people into clients. So I get a pretty high rate of conversion from leads into clients. Okay, so now let's look at the other side of this, which is the cost. As I said, this is relying on paid advertising. You have to pay Google Ads in order to get these clicks in the first place. And so let's go over the numbers that I'm getting there. I'm getting clicks for about $1 a piece. So every time somebody clicks on my ad, I pay $1, basically. And then, so let me ask you guys, all you math geniuses out there, if I pay $1 for a click and 5% of those clicks become leads, then how much am I paying on average for one lead? $95, not quite. 5 cents, I wish. Enrique says $20. Tom says 20. Pixie says 20. Yep, you guys are right. 20 bucks. Cool. So I'm paying $20 per lead. And so ask you a little bit easier question. If I'm paying $20 per lead and 50% of those leads become clients, then how much am I paying per client? Tom says 40. Good job. So $40 I'm paying per client. So I pay $40 to Google Ads, which owns YouTube. You know, it's the same platform. I pay $40 in ads, and I get a client. Now, a client, on average, is worth to me $1,500. So I'm paying $40, and I'm taking out $1,500. I pay $40 in ads to get a client that's worth $1,500. Now, this isn't just free money. You know, obviously I have to do the work. I have to actually do the project for the client. But you see how powerful this is, right? I pay $40, I get $1,500. And I have full control over how much I put into this. So if I want 2 clients, I pay $80 and I get $3,000 out. If I want 10 clients, I pay $400, I get $15,000. And if I get swamped with clients and I don't want any more clients for a while, then I just turn the ads off. Right? Pretty cool. Like, do you guys understand how powerful this is? Now, let me show you real quick just some of my actual results, because those results are kind of rounded. They're not coming from, they're just approximations because it makes the math easy. So this example I took for my advanced Excel optimization. The total cost $371, almost $400. My CPC, that stands for cost per click, is 99 cents. Right? I told you $1. This is showing 99 cents. Everything is approximate, right? So I'm paying 99 cents per click. So at $371, that means I got 374 clicks. Out of those 374 clicks, I got 13 conversions. A conversion means a lead in this case. So I got 13 conversions, and then my price per conversion, that is the price per lead, is $28.60. Now I told you $20, so The reason that this is higher is because my conversions only counts the leads that came in through my opt-in form. Remember I told you I give people the opportunity to call me on my phone number, and I prefer if they do that. Now what I've found is that it's about 50-50. About half the people prefer to call me, about half of the people prefer to give me their details through the opt-in form. So this 13 are only the ones that gave me their details through the opt-in form. So really I got about 26 leads, and this cost per conversion is about double what it actually is. So including the leads I got calling me, it's about $14 per lead. So to me, and I'm kind of a nerd, but to me this is fun. Like, I really enjoy this because you have complete control over how many new leads you get. You push a button to turn it on or off at any time. You can send $40 to YouTube and get a $1,500 client. Like, to me, this is pretty exciting. So let me ask you guys, if you had this system set up, how many clients would you take per month? Right, if you're making $100 per client, or $100 per hour rather, and $1,500 total on average per client, how many clients would you prefer to take on per month? I'm curious. Chris says 5. Casey says 3 to 4. Tom says 10. My Professor says 3, 10, 3 to 4, 3 to 4, 10, 3, 8, 4, 3 to 4. Okay, so we got a wide range, which is exactly what I was expecting, right? Because some people want to make a lot of money, and some people just, want to make enough money to get by and have a lot of time left over. And either way is fine. You see, this business model works really well for either one because you get to determine exactly how much money you're putting into the ads, which determines how many clients you're getting. So imagine that you get to choose how many new leads you want per week or per month, and you set your ads to exactly that level. Now you have an automated lead machine bringing you new clients on autopilot whenever you decide to turn it on. Pretty cool. Okay, let's get into part 2 here. How to thrive as an Excel freelancer in a bad economy. Now, I put bad in quotes there because just because an economy is bad overall doesn't mean it has to be bad for you. In every recession, in every downturn, there are always people that benefit. There are always people that make money from it because they position themselves properly. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So here's a situation, the way that I see it. Their businesses are shutting down. People are losing their jobs. The Fed is printing an unprecedented amount of money. I just don't see it getting better anytime soon. And I'm normally an optimistic person, but unless there's some economic miracle that I just don't know about, I don't see it getting better anytime soon. And I hope I'm wrong about that. But for us, there's a solution. And that is to be someone who saves businesses money. And frame yourself that way in your marketing. So put yourself in a typical business owner's shoes for a minute. You're making less money. Maybe you had to shut down your business completely for a while. Maybe you had to even lay off a few employees. Budgets are really tight, but you still have to keep track of your data. Your business still relies on Excel. Basically, the business owner has 2 options. Either pay employees to do the data work, and the more inefficient the spreadsheets, the more employee time it takes, or hire an Excel freelancer to clean up the processes and save a ton of time and money. So basically, these are the 2 options that the business owner is facing. They can hire an employee or hire a freelancer. The employee costs $50,000 a year or more in salary. If it's somebody who knows Excel, they don't come cheap. They have to pay them a high salary, right? Freelancer costs $1,500. The employee, they have to pay benefits, they have to pay health insurance, they have to pay paid time off. Freelancer, they don't have to pay benefits. Employee, there are labor laws to consider. There's discrimination lawsuits and wrongful termination lawsuits and all this. With the freelancer, it's just not an issue. The employee is permanent, right? It's difficult to fire an employee. It's difficult to lay off an employee. It's uncomfortable. There's legal liabilities. It's a pain. The freelancer is just as needed, right? They don't have to lay the person off. The employee is full-time. So if it's less than full-time work, the business is still stuck with paying that employee. Whereas the freelancer is again, just as needed. So if you're a business owner, which of those two options is going to be more attractive to you, especially in a situation where budgets are tight, where you don't have a whole lot of money? Right? The freelancer, by far. You're gonna be so overjoyed to pay that freelancer his $1,500 because it saves you from having to pay all of this. So if you can frame yourself that way, if you can communicate this effectively to your prospects, they will be happy to pay you. Now, let me ask you guys a quick question. What do you guys do for work? Let me know in the chat. Like, we got some accountants, some data analysts like me, some IT consultants, maybe some programmers, sales, payroll, engineer, supply chain manager, data analysis, admin, bookkeeping, payroll, Walmart auto department, data entry, sales, admin, accountant. Okay, very cool. Now that just helps me kind of get an idea of where you guys are coming from. So part 3, how to get clients to trust you even if you've never done an Excel project before as a freelancer. Now, how many of you guys are kind of in that boat where you've never done this before and you're a little nervous? You're thinking, why would anybody trust me? I have no experience in this. I've never done a project for anyone before as a freelancer. Why would anyone trust me? If you're feeling that way, let me know in the chat. Okay, so yeah, I see a bunch of people that are feeling that way. Okay, well, this section is going to make you feel better. Don't worry. So when I started doing this business, I was super nervous. I didn't have any experience. I wasn't sure if my Excel skills were good enough. I was afraid I would disappoint my clients. Basically, I just didn't have much self-confidence. But I also knew that you can never succeed if you don't try. And I didn't want to spend my whole life in a cubicle. So I forced myself to face my fears and do it anyway. I was far from perfect, and my Excel skills were nowhere near as good as they are today, but I jumped in anyway and I learned along the way. And now, with the benefit of 7 years of experience and a lot more self-confidence, I can tell you some easy ways to get clients to trust you even if you're brand new, and why most of your fears are probably unfounded. So, here is some quick ways to gain easy credibility. Number 1, and by far the most important, is just be able to help. If you are able to improve on your client's processes, if you know Excel better than your prospect, then you are able to help. And if you can show the prospect that you are able to help, that is by far the number 1 best thing that you can do for your credibility. Number 2 thing, and the second most important, is to focus on the prospect. When you're talking to a prospect, do not talk about yourself. Don't talk about your experience, don't talk about your education, don't talk about your certifications, don't talk about your prior clients. The client does not care about these things. The prospect does not care about these things. The prospect cares about what you can do about their problem. So if you can do just 1 and 2 here, if you can be able to help and you can focus on the prospect, that will be good enough for 95% of your clients. I promise you. 95% of my clients do not ask me for any other proof or evidence or prior experience or education or any of that stuff. I mean, I like to think about this like if you go to a mechanic office or you go to a mechanic shop and say you bring in your car and you say, hey, my car's overheating. The mechanic's going to say something, he's going to look at it and he's going to say something like, okay, well, you have a hole in your radiator. I can fix it for $500 and it'll be ready by the end of the day. Are you then going to turn around to the mechanic and say, okay, well, Mr. Mechanic, let me see where you went to mechanic school. Let me see your mechanic school degree. Let me ask you about what other cars you've worked on in the past. Let me see your mechanic certification, right? You're just not going to ask any of these things. You don't care. All you care about is that he can solve your problem, how much it's going to cost, and how fast it's going to be done. Like, those are the only things that you're going to care about. And your clients, I promise you, the vast majority of your clients are the same way. So you should never have to prove yourself at all beyond these two things. Now, just in case that's not enough for you and you would like even further peace of mind, I'll give you a couple other things that you can do even if you have no experience. Number one is to have a portfolio, or better yet, a video of your portfolio. That is, have some projects that you've done in the past. They could just be projects that you've done by yourself, or they could be projects that you've done for your work. They could be just practice that you've done for a class. And make a screen share video, or a screen capture video rather, of you demonstrating those projects. And this is what I was talking about that I do on my landing page. And by the way, that whole process that I gave you before builds a huge amount of credibility. If you think about it, you're running video ads, right? That gives you credibility. You have a website. That gives you credibility. You have this portfolio video on your website. That gives you credibility. You have an automatic email that goes out. That gives you credibility. So you've already built up a ton of credibility before you even start talking to the prospect on the phone. Right? So have a portfolio or video. And then the last thing, again, if you really, really need more mental, like, psychological support, which is big. I'm not deprecating that. The psychological aspect is the hardest thing in just about any business. You ask any successful entrepreneur, they'll tell you their biggest challenge was just within their own head. So anything that can make you feel better is absolutely worth doing. Number 4 is to have a list of past clients. Now, probably you're seeing this and you're thinking, well, I don't have any past clients. Well, you probably do, even if you don't recognize that you do. And for past clients, they don't have to be freelance clients. Have you ever made a spreadsheet for your current job? Well, you can list that company as a past client. Have you made a spreadsheet for a different job that you worked at in the past? You can use that as a past client. Have you ever done a spreadsheet for your church or a charity or a golf club or anything, right? You can list those organizations as past clients. Or even if you have a job now and you want to just make a spreadsheet for them real quick, then all of a sudden you can use that job as a past client. So if you want to have that list of past clients, just in case some weirdo prospect ever asks you, and nobody has ever asked me that, by the way, in 7 years of doing this, but just in case you want to have that assurance, then that's something you can do as well. So those are my solutions for easy credibility. So let me know, you guys that were a little worried about that, let me know, does that make you feel better? Does that give you a little more confidence? Chris says yes, Sherry says yes, Tina says yes. Wonderful. Okay, so what we've gone over so far is the exact system that I use to get new high-paying clients consistently. We went over how to thrive in a bad economy, and we went over how to get clients to trust you, even if you've never done an Excel project before as a freelancer. So let me ask you guys, has this been helpful? Like, does this all make sense? I'm seeing lagging replies. James says, yes, thanks. Yinka says, much better. Sherry says, yes. Casey says, yes. Derek says, yes. Laylee says, yes. Sally says, very helpful. Tina says, yes. Awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. Now, let me ask you, if you got value out of this presentation, would it be all right if I took just a couple minutes to tell you about a program that I have that will give you all of the details, give you from A to Z, from scratch, the entire business model and everything that you need to create this business? Is it all right if I just go over that for a couple minutes? Sherry says, sure. Eric says, certainly. Future Dream says, that would be great. Derek says, yes. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. So what this program is called Excel Business Academy, and it's going to be me personally working with you to build a profitable Excel consulting business with a consistent system for getting clients in 8 weeks. Now, you guys probably already know if you really want to learn something and you want to learn something well and you want to learn it fast, you get a coach or a mentor, right? If you want to get fit, you hire a personal trainer. If you want to learn to play an instrument, you hire a music teacher. If you want to start a new business, you work with a proven mentor. Basically, you find somebody who already is doing the thing that you want to be able to do and get that person to help you. So what I've done is I've put together a full coaching program where I will personally work with you to create a thriving Excel consulting business completely from scratch. So here's what Excel Business Academy is going to do for you. It's going to get you new leads and customers whenever you want. Going to get you reliable income every month. It'll make it so that you don't have to bet your future on an unpredictable job market. You get to focus on the Excel work you enjoy. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I love doing Excel stuff. Solving problems and creating spreadsheets and creating data visualizations, to me, that's fun. I mean, I know that makes me kind of a nerd, but to me, if I can do that kind of work and get paid for it, then that's a dream come true. Also, you can work from home, or you can work from a coffee shop, or you can work from a beach on the other side of the world. You get to work wherever you want. You get to be your own boss. You get to set your own schedule. And you get to work as much or as little as you want. So, if you want to work a full work day and make a whole lot of money, you can do that. Or if you want to work part-time and still make plenty of money to get by on, you can do that as well. So basically, there are 3 things that I see that you need to be successful that I'm going to incorporate into this program. Number 1 is detailed yet simple to follow training. Number 2 is coaching and personal support. So it's not just watch this video or read this book and then you're on your own. No, this is coaching and personal support. And then the exact forms, scripts, keywords, and templates. So exactly the things to say, right? Exactly the words to say that are going to work to take the guesswork out of it. So there's going to be 5 core components to this program. Phase 1 is lay the groundwork. This is where you're going to set up the basics of your business and how your business is going to work. Phase 2 is build the machine. This is where you build the processes. We're going to build the processes together to bring clients into your business. And then phase 3 is start the engines. This is where we're going to turn on our advertising and we're going to start taking calls and signing up clients. So these 3 phases make up the core training. And then you're also going to get a community, which is a group of people that can help you along the way. And you're going to get personal coaching. So I'm going to go into what each of those means in a little bit more detail here. And the community and coaching is the support system. So phase 1 is lay the groundwork. What you're going to learn in phase 1 is how to understand your customer, who your customer is, what your customer wants, how to reach your customer. I've been doing this for a long time. I know the answers to all these questions, and I'm going to tell you this so that you know how to target your ads, so that you know how to frame yourself when you're talking to the customer, so you can talk your customer's language. You're going to define your service offerings. You're going to determine exactly what it is that your business does for your clients. You're going to set the deliverable and payment structure, and I'm just going to give you my quote contract form and invoice forms. I'm just going to give you the ones that I'm already using that are already working. You can erase mine and erase my name and put in yours, right? And so these last 2 parts are really, really important because I told you my first client that I spent a long time before I got a first client, and when I finally did get that first client, I didn't get paid. So I'm going to make sure that that does not happen to you, right? I'm gonna show you how to structure your business so that that doesn't happen to you. Okay, phase 2, build the machine. I'm going to show you how to create a demonstration of power that wows your prospects. I'm going to show you how to create a landing page that puts your lead collection on autopilot. We're going to create an automatic email to give you added credibility. I'm going to show you exactly what to say that gets viewers to become leads. This is the part that's the really tricky part. This is the part that a lot of people get hung up on, is they don't know how to speak the viewer's language. And this is something that took me a long time to figure out. So I'm going to show you exactly what to say. This is the copy aspect we talked about. I'm also going to show you exactly what to say to get leads to become clients. And I'm going to show you exactly how to set everything up, even if you have no web design skills. So if you're looking at this saying, I have no idea how to set up these web pages, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through step by step every part of this. You don't have to learn HTML. You don't have to learn JavaScript. Don't worry about that stuff. I'm going to show you all of it. And then I'm going to show you how to turn everyday conversations into new business, right? We talked about just about every business in the world uses Excel. So I'm going to show you how to go from, hey, what do you do for a living at the bar or at a party or at a networking event, to getting that person to become a client or getting you to refer you a client, to refer a client to you. So that's phase 2. Phase 3, start the engines. Here I'm going to show you what to say in your ads to quickly get attention and get clicks. I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily record video ads that work. And creating ads that work is pretty difficult, by the way. I mean, if you think about it, when you see an ad on YouTube, what do? What do you do most of the time you see an ad in YouTube? You hit the skip button as fast as you possibly can, right? That's what everybody else does too. So there's really an art to being able to write an ad that gets people's attention and gets people interested enough that they're actually willing to click. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm going to show you the exact keywords to target so that you reach your perfect clients. I'm going to show you how to set your ad budgets so that you have full control of new leads, so that you can get more new leads when you want more customers and get fewer new leads when you want fewer customers. So basically, this is my full set it and forget it system for getting new leads into your business. Now, the community is going to be a private members-only Facebook group. In this group, you can ask questions and get support, both from me and from the other members. You'll have accountability, and it's also great for lead sharing. So if you get a lead that wants something that you don't know how to do, you can give it to that group. You can say, hey, anybody want this lead? Or you could even sell the lead if you want to. And you know, I do this. I share leads in the group. I had a lead, like if I get a lead that wants Google Sheets, for example, I don't know the first thing about Google Sheets. I cannot help that person. So I'm gonna give that lead to somebody in the group who can help that person, right? It helps the people in the group, and it reflects better on me because I am getting their problem solved, even if I'm not the one to solve it. And actually, lately I've been testing some new things with my ads, and I've been getting new leads coming in, but I've been so swamped with work that I haven't wanted to take the leads. So I myself have been giving out my leads for free to the people that are in the coaching group. So for example, Roland signed up just recently. The course hasn't even started yet. The coaching program has not even started yet. I gave him a lead. I said I had a free lead for somebody who wants it. He raised his hand. So I gave him the lead, the information, and I gave him just a really quick crash course on how to take the call. And a few days later, he sent me this email. He says, concerning the previous lead for David, I'm going to get that done today. He's ready to give me his credit card number, but I'm not fixed up yet to take credit cards. So Roland the course has not even started yet, and Roland has already got his first client ready to give him a credit card, and he doesn't know how to take a credit card because, you know, I'm going to go over that in the course, but we haven't gotten to that yet. So we have people in the group that are, you know, that are getting clients before the course even starts. Now the coaching aspect, it's going to be weekly live training for 6 weeks. We have 6 weeks of lesson material that I'm going to be teaching you live, and I'm going to be available to answer any questions you might have. You're going to have weekly live support for 2 weeks. So it's going to be 6 weeks of coaching and then 2 weeks where I'm just there for support. Anything that you need help with, any questions you might have. If you want me to look over your ads, if you want me to look over your landing page and give you suggestions, I'm going to be there. Those 2 weeks are going to be specifically dedicated just to that. And then you're going to have lots of direct access to me, both in the coaching calls and through the Facebook group. So here's a recap of everything you're going to get. Phase 1, lay the groundwork. That's where you set up the basics of your business. Phase 2, build the machine. That's where you create the marketing machine that's going to bring in new clients. Phase 3, start the engines. That's where you're going to start your advertising and actually start taking calls and signing people up. And then you're going to get the community. and the live coaching. Again, this is not something where I say, here's a bunch of videos, watch the videos and good luck. No, I'm going to be there supporting you every step of the way. Anything that you need help with, I'm going to be there to answer for you. So if you did this business for a long time, let's say you did this business for several years and you get 500 clients. At $1,500 per client, over the lifetime of the business, that's $750,000 that you made from this. If you get 100 clients, that's $150,000. If you only get 10 clients over the entire lifetime of this business, that's still $15,000. So what if I told you that you could get full access to Excel Business Academy live for just $29.95? That's the price of just 2 clients. $29.95. So if all this did was to make you an extra $3,000 a month in side income, would it be worth $29.95? If all this did was give you the ability to skip the traffic jams and work from home, would that be worth $29.95? If all this did was give you the freedom to wake up when you want and set your own schedule, would it be worth $29.95? If all this did was let you take 2 extra vacations next year, would it be worth $29.95? I think so. So the investment in Excel Business Academy is $29.95. However, since this program is brand new, I'm going to offer you a special deal. I'm going to offer you a massive discount on this price if you agree that when you get your first client and your first client payment, you let me know in the Facebook group and let me use your post as a testimonial. So what I want you to do is when you get clients, just post in the Excel saying, hey, thanks to Chris's program, I got this client to sign up with me for Excel work. That's it. And then I'm just going to make a little screenshot of your post and I'm going to use it to prove that my method works in the future. Is that something that you guys would be willing to do? Like, if you'd be willing to do that in exchange for a massive discount, write deal in the chat. Eric says deal. Future Dream says deal. Laylee says deal. Awesome. So what I'm going to do for you, if you were willing to honor that deal and give me those testimonials when you get clients, you can get your seat now for just $14.95. Go to chrisshoop.com/8weeks, and that's my name, Chris Shoop, and I'll put it in the chat there. You do have to put the www because my system is finicky for some reason. So www.chrisshoop.com/8weeks. Now, I'm only taking 15 people. This is a live coaching program. Again, this is not something where you just watch a bunch of videos. This is a live coaching program, and I need to limit the amount of spaces because I want to be able to give everybody plenty of personal one-on-one attention. Right? And I can't do that if I have a huge group. So I'm only taking the first 15 people who get in. So if you see an order form, if you go to this link, you see an order form, that means that there's still spots left. If you see the order form, there's still spots available. If it's already filled up, then you'll get this page. It says, sorry, the program is currently sold out. So if you see the order form, there's still spots left. Now, for the 15 people who get into the program, you're also going to get these bonuses. Bonus number 1 is the quick win method for getting your first 1 to 3 clients. In this bonus, I'm going to give you the exact scripts and method to leverage your existing contacts so they refer you your first 1 to 3 clients. So if you want to recoup your investment that you paid for the program fast, you want to get those first 1 to 3 clients fast. You don't want to have to wait the full 8 weeks to create your whole marketing system. I'm going to give you this bonus so that you can pull in those first 1 to 3 clients within just the first few weeks. So this is worth $1,500 to $4,500 by itself. I'm going to throw in this bonus completely free with this offer. Bonus 2, advanced scaling strategy. In this bonus, I'm going to show you how to scale your business so that you're not doing all the work yourself and you don't have a ceiling on your income. What you're going to find when you get into this business is that it accumulates a lot of work pretty fast. If you take on a lot of clients, you have a lot of work that you have to do, and at some point you don't have any more capacity to do any more work. Or you just don't want to do any more work. You don't want to be working all the time. So what you can do, and this is what I'm going to detail in detail in this advanced scaling strategy, is I'm going to show you how you can farm out the actual Excel work to freelancers who will pay a fraction of the cost that you are getting paid. And I'm going to show you how to do it in such a way that you find freelancers who are actually good. And I'm going to show you how to find freelancers who can do the work without needing a whole bunch of supervision, who aren't going to be breathing down your neck all the time, asking questions about every little thing. So if you'd like to be able to scale your business, this is going to be very helpful for you. And then the third bonus is Excel for Consulting Mastery. Now, if you're thinking that this sounds great, but you're not sure if your Excel skills are good enough, I made this bonus just for you. I understand where you're coming from. The thing with Excel is that there's always more to learn. You never know everything about it. So it's hard to get over that feeling that you don't know enough. That why would anybody want to hire me? I'm not an expert. I'm not an MVP. So in this bonus, I'm going to show you exactly what, in my 7 years of experience, exactly what are the most important Excel skills to know to serve your clients and give you a complete curriculum to learn them. Now, this coaching program in general, I've made a very relaxed pace. I made this with busy professionals in mind. So if you have to work full time and maybe you have a family, I made it for you so that it's only a few hours of work that you have to do every week. It's pretty easy to keep up with. And so if you want to do this bonus, the Excel for Consulting Mastery, what that is going to be is basically a parallel 8-week course. So at the same time that you are building your business, you are also filling in any skills that are going to serve you that you might not already have. So by the end of the 8 weeks, you will have your business built and you will have all of the skills that you need to have in order to do this business, right? And there isn't a specific amount of skill that you need. As long as you're better than the average person, you can start this. But the more skills you have, the more clients you can take. So Excel for Consulting Mastery is going to be very helpful for that. Okay, now let me recap everything you're going to get with this. You're going to get phase 1, lay the groundwork, which is all about how to create the basics of the business. Phase 2, build the machine, how to create your marketing system. Phase 3, start the engines. That's how you drive people into your marketing system and start taking calls and start signing up clients. You're going to get the community, you're going to get the live coaching, and you're going to get the first bonus, the quick win method to get your first 1 to 3 clients. You get the second bonus, the advanced sourcing strategies, and you're going to get the third bonus, the Excel for Consulting Mastery. Total value, $15,000. Go to www.chrisshoup.com/8weeks. Now, let me tell you who Excel Business Academy is for. Excel Business Academy is for you if you want to be your own boss and have the freedom to set your own schedule. If you want to be able to work from anywhere. Or even if you like your job and you don't want to quit your job, but you want to have some extra side income. It's great for that. Or if you'd like to semi-retire and work part-time on your own terms. You know, I hear from a lot of folks who are kind of reaching that traditional retirement age, and they're getting pushed out of their companies. They're getting pushed out of their jobs. They're being forced to retire even though they don't want to, right? They still feel young. They have lots of energy. They have a lot left to offer, but they're getting pushed out and they're finding it very difficult to find other jobs that are willing to hire them. So if you're in that situation, then this program is absolutely perfect for you. This business is great. And if you want to just work part-time hours, right, and work when you feel like it, not work when you feel like it, then it's awesome. It's exactly what's going to work for you. And people who are hiring for freelancers, they don't give a hoot how old you are, right? So this is great for people who are in that situation. It's great for you if you don't want to gamble your future on an unpredictable job market. It's great for you if you've tried freelancing before but had a hard time getting high-paying clients. Or even if you're completely new to freelance work. I'm going to show you how to build this business completely from the ground up. I'm assuming that you have nothing built yet. So I'm going to show you every single little part of this. And it's also great if you're an experienced freelancer, but you'd like to have an easier and a more reliable way to get new business. I'm going to show you exactly how to set up that marketing system. So Excel Business Academy is perfect for data analysts, accountants, IT consultants, programmers, database administrators, marketing analysts, financial analysts, business intelligence, actuaries, or anyone else who uses Excel in their career, or for that matter, anybody who just wants to use Excel in their career. So secure your seat now at chrisshoup.com/8weeks, $14.95. Again, I'm only taking 15 people. First 15 people to sign up are the 15 people that get in. Now, for those of you who would like to have everything that we discussed done for you, I have a second option just for you. Option 2, the Business in a Box package. If you don't want to have to deal with building anything, you just want a business that already works, just handed to you with a bow tie on top, plug and play, then this is going to be for you. You're going to get everything that we talked about. You're going to get the coaching program, you're going to get all the bonuses, you're going to get the community, everything that we already talked about, plus you're going to get 2 complete video ads. I'm going to write the ads for you. I'm going to record them if you would like. That's optional, actually. I can record them. I can be your spokesperson for the business if you like, or if you would prefer, I'll just write the scripts and you can record them yourself. I will edit them. I will set up, I will do the setup, I will do the targeting, and I'll split test both the ads. The reason that I do 2 ads is that so you can choose 2 variations and you can run them both in parallel, and then we can figure out which one performs better, which one gets you a cheaper cost per lead, and then we'll run with that and discontinue the other one. So I'm going to handle all of that for you. I'm just going to go into your ad account and set up everything. I'm going to create a fully functional landing page and thank you page for you. I'm going to create your automatic email. I'm going to write it and I'm going to set it up. I'm going to create that new lead notification so that when you get a new lead, you automatically get an email about it so that you can call that lead as fast as possible. And then I'm also going to give you the complete conversion tracking and analytics setup so you can see exactly how the system is performing real time anytime that you want. So that's the Business in a Box option. The price of that is $34.95. Again, one-time payment of $34.95. That's the same website, www.chrisshoup.com/8weeks, and you'll have the choice between the 2 options. So this is what it's going to look like when you go to that link. This is there. You see 2 options here. There's the Excel Business Academy, the regular option, and then the Business in the Box option down here. So you just click on whichever one you want. You fill out your information here, and then once that goes through, you're going to go to this page. You'll say, congratulations, you're enrolled in the program. You'll get an automatic email from me, which will give you all of the next steps that you need to get started with the program. So if that's something that's of interest to you, first 15 people, secure your seat now for $14.95. Go to chrisshoup.com/8weeks. Cool. So let me know in the chat if you've made the decision that you want to get in on this. You think that this would be great for you and you're really interested. Write "I'm in" the chat. I just want to see how many people are interested in this, and I want to make sure that I get you in. And go ahead and start writing your questions too. If you've got any questions, I'll start taking the questions very soon. Nina says, does Business in a Box include the Excel mastery portion of your tutorial? Yes, it does. Everything that I talked about, that includes. Okay, so go ahead and put your questions in the box there, and okay, and if you're in, write "I'm in," and I'll make sure that I get you in there. Okie dokie, let's see. My professor says, is it smart to focus on a niche market that you know you'll be better at? You can, but I don't recommend it, to be honest. It's kind of hard to target a niche market. Oh, Chris says, is there a payment plan? Yes, there is a payment plan. I was just about to mention that. So the payment plan is going to be a different link. I'm going to write it in the chat here. The payment plan is going to be 3 payments of $5.95. So 3 monthly payments of $5.95. And it's going to be chrisshoop.com/8weeks-PMT. So again, you're gonna have to put the www in because it's finicky about that for some reason. Future Dream says your coaching and training is worth the amount for sure. I'm concerned about my ability to generate the clients to pay myself back. Insecurities like you mentioned earlier. Yeah, you're always going to have that problem. I mean, everybody who gets into any kind of business is always going to have that problem. So, I mean, really the only way around it is just to jump in. And if you put some money into it, by the way, that helps a lot, right? Because now you're committed. Now you have to make it work, or else you just wasted all that money, right? So I've found that if I invest a lot of money in something, then I make sure that I make it work. Like, I'm so much more likely to be successful in that situation. So, I mean, really, it's just a matter of, are you willing to jump in and try it? Most people, I've noticed this, most people are hesitators. You know, most people, they're faced with an opportunity and then they have to think about it. You know, and so they think about it, and then they think about it some more, and then they forget about it, and then the opportunity passes them by. And then the next time there's an opportunity, they think about it, and then they forget about it, and the opportunity passes them by. And then 40 years later, they're old and full of regrets, right? So I don't want to try to, like, convince you. I don't want to try to push you if this is not the program for you, right? This is not for everybody. I understand that. But if it is the right thing for you and you're hesitating just because of insecurities or because of lack of confidence, man, you gotta jump in at some point. You know, if not this, then something, right? So I mean, I hope that's helpful. Okay, let's see. Did I miss any questions here? Okay, Future Dream says there are additional costs, website, ads, etc. What do you feel is the total of the other startup costs required? Good question. Yeah, the website, well, really the only fixed cost is going to be the website. Now, there are multiple different ways to do this. The way that I recommend has the website, it has the email software, and it basically has everything that you need all integrated into one package, and that costs $100 a month, or I think like $99 a month. And you get the first month free. They give you a free trial for the first month. So basically budget $100 per month. And then the ads, it just depends on how much business you want, right? So if you want one customer, you spend $40. If you want 2 customers, you spend $80. So good question. Business in a box is all work done for you and guarantee clients. Yeah, it's all work done for you and guarantee clients. I mean, yeah, I could do that. I mean, I'm doing this right now. Like, this is something that is working for me as we speak. So I know that it works. I'm going to do this exactly the same process for you as that I do for my own business. Future Dream says, agreed. Insecurities will kill all opportunities for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Nate says, I have only been on the live for 10 minutes. Is the $100 an hour a conservative figure? You mean $100 an hour for how much you charge your clients? How much you charge your clients is up to you. And I've charged, when I started this business, I charged $80 an hour, and now I'm charging $100 an hour. I charged 80, and then I went up to 90, and then I went up to 100. And I've never gone higher than 100. Although sometimes I did one project that was like a training. It was only 2 hours, and I charged like 150 per hour for that. But other than that, I can only tell you what my experience has been, and it's just been from 80 to 100. So could you charge more than that? Probably, but I don't know. I hope that answers your question. Derek says, do you have testimonials of your students who are up and running after the course? No, Derek, I don't, because this is the first time I've ever run this course ever. So this is, you are going to be in the first ever group. But again, this is exactly the system that I am running for myself right now that's working. So again, the $14.95 price is because it's the first time. That's half of the normal price. Rick says, how would you know if you have the appropriate Excel skill to be a freelancer? I know Excel, but I'm not sure if I'm intermediate or an advanced user. That's a good question. The real answer to that is that you can't really know. That you just have to jump in and learn as you go along. Really, that's what I did. I wasn't sure if I was good enough when I started. And if you were between intermediate and advanced, I would say that you're definitely good enough to get started. And as you go along, you will continually get better and better. And I added that third bonus was the Excel Mastery course, exactly in case you have doubts about that. I go through, what I did is I went through all of my past projects that I've done for clients and figured out what are all the skills that I needed in the past, and that's what you're going to learn to do through that. So I hope that answers your question. Casey says, can I just work with other freelancers to take jobs? They are too busy. Yeah, you could. If you're in the Facebook group, but then you have no control, right? You just have to rely on other people to get your leads. So I don't really recommend it, but you can. Benjamin says, how do you sell billing per hour? I usually do things per job, but selling per hour definitely looks more lucrative. I definitely do per hour because jobs always expand. This is the problem. Almost every client I've ever gotten, they have a job that's this big, and then by the end of the project it turns into this big because they have more and more and more ideas as the job goes along. And so if I charge per project, then the job would never end, right? I'd probably never get paid. So that's why I do per hour. And yeah, definitely the clients would prefer if I charged per job, but it just my experience that doesn't work out very well. Eric says, when do you anticipate the course will start? Particular night of the week? Yeah, good question. The course is going to start this Thursday. And it's going to be every Thursday evening after that. And I will have recordings of all of the live calls. So in case you miss one or miss a few, you can always watch the recording. And then if for some reason Thursday night doesn't work for you, I'll find a time to fit you in. Like we can even talk one-on-one at some point if you want. Like I'll find a way for it to work for you. Casey says, so it costs $14.95 to join the Facebook group. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Plus all the other stuff. But I don't have an option for only joining the Facebook group, if that's what you want to know. Benjamin says, how would a negotiation go for something like that? I've never had to negotiate at all. I know what you mean. I've never had to negotiate. It's just I say, here's what I can do for you. Here's what the price is going to be. Here's what my time estimate is. Do you want to do it or not? And the majority of the time, the client says yes. The vast majority of the time, the client says yes. Right? If they've already gotten to that point, they're very interested. And you got to think from the perspective of a business, $100 an hour really isn't that much, especially when it's as opposed to a $50,000 a year employee, like we talked about before. So I hope that answers your question. Rick says, when your clients pay you, do they write a check to you personally or do they write a check to your business? I've had both. I ask them to write it to my business, but sometimes they don't listen and they just give it to me personally. So it doesn't really matter to me. And Nate says, I can't take advantage of this opportunity right now because I'm too busy working full-time and going to school full-time. Are you going to provide this opportunity in the future? Yes, I think I will do it in the future, but probably not for the same price, right? This is an introductory price because it's the first time that I'm running it. So, I mean, it's very little time investment. I created this specifically targeted towards busy people who already have a lot of obligations. So it's only going to be a few hours a week. So yeah, that's it. And then I mean, if you have to miss a presentation every once in a while, that's fine because the recordings are going to be there. So yeah, I probably will do it in the future, but for a higher price. Cheetan, I hope I'm saying your name right. Cheetan says, I'm so busy right now, possible to join you in the future. Same answer, possibly, but at a higher price. Benjamin says, I saw that you use ClickFunnels and signage. Do you do any phone prospecting, LinkedIn marketing? No, I don't. I mean, I'm sure you could. Probably it would work if you figured out a system, but my system already works plenty good enough, so I don't really need it. Derek says, how long is a session? Session's an hour. Benjamin says, or cold emails. Nope, don't ever send cold emails. And that's a great way to get your account blocked because the spam blockers are pretty good these days, so I don't recommend doing that. Cheetan says, I'm located in Canada and the price is USD. Yes, that's correct. It's USD. Benjamin says, you just use ClickFunnels. I used to use ClickFunnels, not anymore. I found a better solution. ClickFunnels is good though. I like ClickFunnels. I got a few people signed up here. Very cool. Benjamin says, what would you recommend then? I go over that in detail in the course. We'll get into that. Or is that the course? Yeah, that's a big part of it. Like I show you exactly what to use and how to do it. Rick P says, your clients give you a 1099 as a freelancer. Good question. In most cases, no. Most of my clients are smaller businesses and they just can't really be bothered. That's been my experience. A few of them will send me a 1099, the other ones don't. So that's, I obviously prefer when they don't send me a 1099, and that's usually the case. So I won't go into the implications of that, but yeah, good question. Benjamin says, sorry, just came. Yeah, no worries. I will have a replay of this, by the way. If you're interested, I'll have a replay at the same link. So if you just click the link in your reminder emails, it'll come to this if you want to watch from the beginning. And that's, I mean, YouTube is going to probably take a few hours to process it, but by tomorrow it should be ready if you want to watch the full thing from the beginning. And by the way, if you're thinking, I mean, if you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, well, it sounds great, but I think I'll just kind of do it myself. I can figure this out. What I would say to you is that yes, you absolutely can figure it out yourself. I figured it out myself. I'm not special. If I could figure it out, then you could figure it out. And obviously, all you guys in here are pretty smart cookies. Right, I'm not saying that to flatter you, but if you know Excel at a high level, then you're smarter than the average bear. So you could absolutely do what I did and figure this out yourself. And probably, since I gave you the overview of my system, it wouldn't even take you 6 years like it took me, hopefully. But one thing I want you to be aware of, though, is that if you do this by trial and error, using paid ads, it gets expensive really fast. Right? It's difficult to write an ad that works. I mean, if you think about what do you do when you see an ad on YouTube? You skip it, right? You almost always skip it. So that's what most people do. So to be able to write an ad that actually jumps out at people and actually gets people's attention, that's a difficult thing to do. And you're going to end up spending a lot of money on ads that don't work. So I spent probably more than $10,000 on ads that didn't work before I finally did enough trial and error to figure out what actually did work. So the cost of this entire program is quite a bit less than you'd be spending just on ads if you decide to go that route. Again, not saying that you can't, just that it's not very cost effective and it takes a long time. And by the way, if you're not confident, if you're wondering, if you're skeptical that this method actually works, I used almost exactly the same method for this presentation, right? To get you on this presentation. So if you think about it, you saw my ad. Either you saw an ad on YouTube or Facebook. Facebook is the same thing, right? When you see a Facebook ad, usually you keep scrolling. Usually you don't actually look at it, much less click on it. But whether you saw my ad on YouTube or on Facebook, it jumped out at you and you clicked on it, right? Because I figured out how to make ads that work. And then when you saw my landing page, you gave your information to a stranger on the internet, right? Because I made it seem attractive enough that you were willing to do that. Some of you guys even gave me your phone number, right? How often do you give your email address and phone number to some stranger on the internet? Probably not very often, right? Because the way that I structure this, it works. And then here you are now, and what are we, like an hour and a half into the presentation, you're still watching me. Your time is valuable, right? Your time is very valuable. You wouldn't be just spending an hour and a half of your time with me for nothing, right? You're here because I had something that caught your interest. And I mean, I have 32 people still on the presentation an hour and a half later. So my process for getting people in this presentation is almost exactly the same as my process for getting clients for my Excel business. The only difference is that I have a presentation instead of a sales call, right? So if you're wondering if this works, then the fact that you're here right now is proof that it does. So Rick said, is it appropriate to have some of your clients pay you via apps like Venmo, Zelle, and Cash App? Yeah, I have my clients pay by those methods. Whether it's appropriate or not, I don't really know, but I've never had any problem with it. I mean, except for, they take out a little bit. Zelle doesn't take out anything, which is awesome. Venmo and PayPal take out money. Nate says, yes, you can figure it out yourself, but why waste the time trying to figure it out? Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of time and a lot of money. I know this from experience because I've been through it. And a program like this did not exist when I got into this. There was no marketing program for how to start a Excel freelance business. At least none that I know of. And I think there's still no program other than mine that does this. So this is a pretty unique opportunity. So thanks, I appreciate that comment, Nate. And by the way, I'm in no hurry, so if you guys got questions, then go ahead and ask. Oh, and by the way, I chose this price, the $14.95, for a very specific reason, and that is that the average client is worth $1,500. And actually, some of them are worth a lot more than that. My best client has been worth more than $20,000. But the average client, and this is kind of a lowball estimate, but average client is worth $1,500. So basically, what I'm charging for this program is your first client, but with $5 left over to go buy a beer for yourself to reward yourself. And I absolutely recommend that you reward yourself when you have a victory like that. Having your first client, especially if this is your first business, is huge. That's an amazing accomplishment that only maybe 1% of the world ever accomplishes, and you absolutely deserve to reward yourself for that. So I talked about before that the psychological aspect of this is the biggest challenge that most people have in any business, not just this one. So anything you can do to reinforce good things, like reinforce victories, like rewarding yourself, is absolutely awesome. And I structured this program so that it helps you psychologically as much as possible, right? The way that it's structured, the 8-week coaching, live coaching structure to it is to keep you on task. It's to give you accountability, right? Just the fact that you're making an investment to it, that kind of holds your feet to the fire. It makes you be successful, right? Because now you're faced with the choice of either you can be successful with this, or you just wasted a whole bunch of money, right? So that helps with it. I take all of the guesswork out as much as I possibly can. I get rid of every bit of uncertainty I possibly can, so that I'm telling you what to say. I'm telling you how to set everything up. I'm giving you everything step by step. I'm giving you as much support as humanly possible in this business, so that you have the maximum confidence in taking the steps that you need to take. I'm doing as much as I possibly can for you, so that the part that you need to do is as easy as possible and is something that you're going to have confidence, because I've taken a lot of the guesswork out of it. Derek says, you're right, I'm still here, trying to figure out how to cover this on my budget, but I'm still with you. Awesome, well, I'd be very happy to have you, Derek. I believe that there are spots still available. And again, if you want to do the payment plan, that's an option. I'll write that in again, just so you have it. Rick P says, can you review examples of Excel projects that clients are looking for? I get a lot. I get a lot of different things. I get, on the low end, I get people that just want me to show them how to do a spreadsheet that they're doing. They want me to show them how to do a VLOOKUP or something. And for those, I just do a screen share with them live, and I just train them complete their project while explaining what I'm doing. And then on the high end, I have people that have access databases that are integrated with spreadsheets, that are integrated with databases on the outside. Ridiculous stuff. And then kind of in the middle, the most common project I get is people that have a dashboard. They have some data source, and then they have a dashboard, or they have a dashboard they would like to have that shows them what's their sales over time, or what's their costs over time, or their profits, or a pie chart of where their sales are coming from. Kind of basic data visualization stuff like that. That's the thing that I get most often. So I hope that answers your question. Jorge says, on average, how many hours you need for one project? On average, 15 hours. Right, that's how I chose that. 15 hours times $100 per hour is my average client. And again, some clients need very little. Like some people will just call me and ask me how to do a formula. Those people I just charge the minimum, which is half hour, which is $50. And then other clients just keep coming back for more and more and more and more and end up needing like hundreds of hours. So it's all over the place, and I've been pretty open where I take people and on either end of the range, right? And you don't have to do that. I mean, if you don't want to waste your time with somebody who only has a half-hour project, or you don't want to get into a huge commitment with somebody that's going to want hundreds of hours, you have complete control to turn down those. And when you join the Facebook group, by the way, you can give those leads to other people or sell them to other people if you don't want to take them yourself. Casey says, when does it start again? I probably missed that. Oh, and Illa answered me, this Thursday. That's correct. Thank you, Illa. I hope I'm saying your name right. Yes, okay, wonderful. Yep. Any more questions, feel free to put them in there. I will stay as long as you guys still have questions. Okay, well, not seeing any more questions. I'm going to go grab a glass of water, and if there's no questions when I come back, then we'll go ahead and close. So, just a moment. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions, so thank you guys for joining this presentation. It was great to have you on here. Again, if you want to sneak in a question really quick, I'll get to it, but otherwise I'm going to go ahead and close. Now, if you're watching this on a replay, by the way, again, if you go to the link, chrisshoop.com/8weeks, if you see an order form, there are still spots available. If spots are closed, then you'll see a message that says it's closed. So I'm not seeing any more comments. So thank you guys again. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. And if you need to send me an email for any reason, if you want to get in touch with me about something, I'll go ahead and give you my email address here. Chris@dominatethemarketplace.net. Pasquale says 6 EM. I don't know what that means. Okay, well, you guys have an awesome night, and I will see you later. Casey's excited to make money being an Excel nerd. Awesome. It's pretty cool being an Excel nerd. I enjoy it, especially if you can make money doing it. So, happy to have you. So, thanks guys. Talk to you soon.